Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at our welcome session. Today, we would like to welcome you to North Carolina. My name is Hani, and I'm the Education USA advisor at the Fulbright Commission in Prague. And today, I've got two special guests, Kyle and Eleanor. They're both Fulbright grantees. Kyle is currently an English teaching assistant in Most, and Eleanor is in Odry. Thank you guys for joining us today. And you all, welcome to North Carolina.
All right. Hello. Nice to, well, I can't see you, but thanks for showing some interest in the USA. Next slide. So here's some fast facts about North Carolina to get an idea of the state as a whole. So one very fun thing is that we have snow days, and these snow days are paired with very little snow, which is perfect. So in New York, you get the same amount of snow days, but a lot more snow. In North Carolina, it snows like this much and everything shuts down and you have no class, and it's fun. We also have very warm summers with cold, but not too cold winters. You experience all four seasons, so you get to see the leaves change, just like here in the Czech Republic. And I think you'll find it's a similar climate, but maybe a little bit milder. We also have the Appalachian Mountains, which is a famous range of mountains over on the east coast of the USA. So plenty to do for hiking enthusiasts. And there is a major airport in Charlotte, the huge airport for international students to get in.
That's really amazing because for me, I was an international student in the United States and I have no idea about about snow days. So the one time there was no school bus waiting for me. I was like, okay, so let me walk then. So I walked for a mile to get to the school and they're looking at me like, it's a snow day. I'm like, so what? There's just like this amount of snow. And they told me like there is no school, and I was like, okay, I thought that if there is no bus, I'm just supposed to walk. So I walked. And then I walked back and they offered, and it was really funny. Snow days are a lot of fun in the US.
Lots of fun. And because they can't plan for it, it's like you might miss a test.
Yeah, right?
Really
One of my favorite memories from North Carolina has to do with snow. It snowed like, I think 6 inches, and it was like the biggest snow in a long time. And we just were going nuts in our college. We were like, oh my God, what do we do? School was closed for like a week. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Cool.
And then, so university and research-wise, North Carolina is famous for this triangle in the middle of the state, and it's called the Research Triangle. So if you're interested in computer science, biology, chemistry, physics, this is a great place to both study and to have these opportunities to do research at hospitals or with local companies. So a big wealth of opportunities there. And the 3 points are Durham, which has Duke University, super highly rated. It's like Ivy League of the South. And Chapel Hill with UNC, University of North Carolina. Another great school, very big and sportsy. So if you want to have that really big American college experience, UNC is a great option. And then the last one is in Raleigh, which would be NC State. And again, a big state school. And they all have Division I sports teams. So if you're interested in that sports culture, any one of those will be great. Duke and UNC have medical schools. I'm going to medical school next year, and I know when there's the medical school attached to the school, it's a lot easier to have those shadowing opportunities. And then you always have a little bit better chance of getting into the medical school, if you went there undergrad. So sometimes it's good to have
great. And Eleanor, can you explain? Because I know it is a little bit different when it comes to med school in the United States. And I do have Czech students who are interested in studying medicine in the US. So basically what they have to do after high school is apply to a school that has pre-med, right?
That is a common misconception.
Oh, okay.
Because so if you really love medicine and you want to do it for your college experience, that's great. But as long as you do this certain number of courses, so like and you could find this list online. It's like 2 organic chemistry and 2 general chemistry, 2 biology, 2 physics. Then you can do whatever you want. So I was a theater major and I got into medical school. So that's my advice to everybody is if you have some other passion like English or I don't know, like medieval literature, then do that. And save the really tough stuff for when you absolutely have to.
Okay, that's really interesting. But all in all, you can apply to medical school only on graduate level.
Yes,
education.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
And then it's also close to the mountains and close to the beach. I think it's that triangle would be about 2 hours from the beach, and of course, very close to the mountains because it's all around. And then again, large schools. Okay, and so this is my alma mater. This is where I went to school at Wake Forest, and I really, really loved it. This also has its own medical school, and I'm going to this medical school. So, and it was the only one I got into. So I think it's nice to go to a school with a medical school. It's great if you aren't sure what you want to do because it's a liberal arts college. And you don't have to decide what your major is until junior year. So plenty of time to try some things out. It's known for its professor to student connection. So that ratio, the student to professor ratio is something like 13-1. So I have close contacts with my professors that I still have to this day. They really care about us, and a lot of my friends thought the same thing. And this school is smaller sized, so that's why you have that connection with the professors. But they often said it's a small school with the resources of a big school. And then also D1 athletics, although we weren't very good, but still fun.
What kind of sports were there, to choose from?
So soccer was our biggest one, and tennis we were really good with. Both men and women's tennis, and men and women's soccer. Field hockey, women's field hockey was a really big one. And then we have our football team, which is probably the most popular because of the fun games. And then we do have a basketball team. And then, of course, if you have any, I'm sure they have a club for any sport you can think of. But not D1, but still fun.
Yes, and so this is where I come in. So I went to school at Greensboro College, but I'll be talking about UNCG, or the University of North Carolina at Greensboro as well, because we were one and the same, basically. We were right next to each other. We were separated by one street. And some of the biggest differences between the two is Greensboro, very small campus. I could probably walk the entire campus in under 10 minutes. While UNCG, I could probably take about 3 hours and not hit every building or walk the entire campus. Greensboro College has a small population of students as well. So the student to teacher ratio is extremely good in this. I think the highest amount of students in one class for me was 20 or 30 maybe. So it's like high school almost. Greensboro College was actually smaller than the high school I went to. 80% of the students are athletes. So anybody you meet on that campus, or at least 8 out of 10 people you see, most of them will be athletes. The other 20% were theater kids or people in the arts. So everyone at Greensboro had a reason to be there. We were either playing sports, or they got scholarships to do theater. And it is, if you're looking for a big town, Greensboro is a great place to go. And it's also a college town. Like I said, UNCG is right there. We also have NCA&T, North Carolina I don't know what A&T stands for. To be completely honest, it was just NCA&T every time we talked about it. It's a historically Black college, so it has a lot of history with it. We also have Guilford College around us, and I didn't list these on here because I don't know a whole lot about them, but I'm just listing off all the colleges around us. We have Elon Law School right down the street as well, if you're interested in law. But then moving on to University of North Carolina at Greensboro, it's a much bigger campus. I think this would probably be closer to Wake Forest size, maybe. And it's just like Wake Forest. It's a typical 4-year liberal arts college. So here you can practically major in any field you like. You're going to get that, college experience. And just like Wake Forest as well, there's a lot of D1 sports. They have soccer no, they don't have football. That's one thing they don't have. They don't have football, but they had everything else. Okay. Their soccer team is really good from what I remember, and their basketball team made the tournament a few years ago. That was like the biggest hype of Greensboro in a long time. And just like Greensboro, since we're only separated by a street, super close to downtown. Greensboro.
Cool. You say you went to Greensboro College?
Yes. I played lacrosse there for 2 years. Were you the
athletic person or the artsy person?
I was the athletic person. I played lacrosse for 2 years. I got my 2 years worth, and then I transferred on out.
Okay. What did you study as well? Because you usually combine like education and sports, right?
So I played lacrosse in the afternoons and practice in the afternoons. And in the mornings, I first was a bio major. So I studied biology, chemistry. I took this one class called morphology. It was really fun, but I sucked at it. Really interesting stuff. I just sucked at it. But then I ended up switching my major to history. So you can just get a broad span of what we have there. History to biology. And that's where I stayed, was in history after that.
Right. Any experience with international students, both of you?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of international students doing athletics at Wake Forest. My freshman year roommate was from China, and there are some really great organizations and activities to help those students that are away from home celebrate their own cultures. Like I remember celebrating the Chinese New Year with her and trying mooncake for the first time. So of course you don't have to attend those events if you want to, but it was really nice that they tried to really celebrate these people coming from different places.
You, Kyle?
At Greensboro College, not really. Like I said, it's very small. Not a whole lot of people hear about it. But at UNCG, there's definitely a larger population of foreign students. And one experience I had was actually when I transferred up into Virginia. I became really good friends with this guy from South Korea because we were both history majors. And one of the best parts about him was he was just learning the language, and he didn't realize how funny he was, which made it even funnier. Like, this guy's a comedian, but in the English language, but he never understood why he was a comedian, which made it even funnier for me. So he was always so fun to be around.
That's cool. Amazing. All right. So do we have I think there is one last slide, right, of the presentation. So I would like to thank both of you for a nice presentation. I'm really happy that students learned about Greensboro and other 2 colleges because they can really broaden their horizons. For those of you who are watching, please, if you have any additional questions, feel free to send them to advisor@fulbright.cz. If you have questions for Kyle and Eleanor, you can post them underneath the stream or reach to us through social media under EducationUSA Czech. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.